everyone. Dr. Cook, proud superintendent here at the Catskill Central School District, and welcome to today's ceremony, and thank you for attending. I'm honored to be speaking with you today on such an important occasion. We're here today to honor our service members and to remember their sacrifices they made and the courage it takes to defend honor, duty, and country. We're here today to honor our heroes, to remember their achievements, their courage, and their dedication, and to say thank you for their sacrifices. Thank you to the heroes who joined us today in this group today, and those who are here only in spirit. A person can't help but to feel awed by the enormity of what we encountered. We stand in the midst of patriots and the family and friends of those who have nobly served. I'd like to ask the service members and veterans who are here today to stand, please. Thank you for answering the call to duty. You have made our armed forces the most respected in the world. Now I'd like to ask the family members of any service member to stand. Families of service members, please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. We know you have lived through difficult times and often taken a heavy load to keep the home fires burning. Thank you for what you have done. The service members we honor today came from all walks of life, but they shared several fundamental qualities. They possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty and integrity, all the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes to fight on distant battlefields. Many didn't even volunteer. They didn't go to war because they loved fighting. They were called to be part of something bigger than themselves. They were ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the nation's call because they wanted to protect a nation which has given us so much. So today I thank you once again and hope you enjoyed today's assembly. At this time, would you please stand for the presentation of colors by Officer Buffon, Officer Watson, Catskill grads. Now I'd like to welcome Catskill High School and EMT student Sarah Buffa for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good morning. My name is Sarah Buffa, and will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Also forgot to mention with the presentation of colors, we have representation from the New York State Police. We have Trooper Mark Murray and Trooper Jamie Davis. So give them a round of applause. And our band, a round of applause. Great job. Next, I would like to introduce our senior class president for the student message, Isabella Marchesani. Please listen to the podium.
Good morning, my name is Bella Marchesani and I'm the senior class president. When Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner, he called America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thanks to our veterans, his statement still rings true nearly 200 years later. Throughout the history of our nation, our brave Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, National Guard, and Marines have protected our freedoms and rights. It is today that we as a nation thank you for enduring our rights and liberties. Those who fight so valiantly deserve recognition for their many sacrifices. Coming from a military family, I recognize the hardships that come with not having loved ones home for the holidays or when you need them the most. I commend those currently serving overseas and at home, and those who have served for making the greatest sacrifice of all. Due to the bravery and compassion of our local veterans, people are able to do their favorite things here at home. Children can get up and go to school in the morning to receive an education. Parents can come home and put food on the table without worry. And citizens can freely go places to experience and see things without feeling as though they are endangered. Our country will be thankful forevermore that veterans such as yourselves risk your lives for the safety and protection of your compatriots. Now I would like to introduce our armed duty military guests. Representing the Air Force, enlisted accessions recruiter, Lawton J. Rich. Representing the Navy, Petty Officer Millionaire Egg Akuya. And those who could not be here to represent today, representing the Marines, Gunnery Sergeant Joshua Bateau. Representing the Army, Sergeant Joseph M. Zachman. Representing the Army National Guard, Sergeant Carlton Mackay. At this time, please help me welcome Ms. Wanda Traver and Ms. Jane Fries on behalf of the Onteora Chapter National Society of Daughters of the American Revolution and our partnership, Daughters of the American Revolution.
My fellow member of Onteora Chapter National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, still sitting down there in the crowd, Jane Fries. So we're here today to represent Onteora National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution. As members of Onteora, we come today wishing to thank you and honor you for your service, valor, and sacrifices on behalf of the United States as veterans of those conflicts on foreign soil. We recognize your support of our country in those long days and months and your survival of the many adversities, the anguishes, and emotional traumas of those wars. This recognition is long overdue, but we wish you to know that as a nation and the Daughters of the American Revolution, we are also very grateful for that service. We also want to remember those and honor those who died in those foreign conflicts. Also remembered are those who became missing in action or became prisoners of war. May we pray. Dear God, we ask for your blessing on all of the veterans here today, and we remember those who did not survive. May God bless you all. Amen.
Next, with our veterans introduction, we have Victoria Lake Upshaw and Ms. Brianna Santoro from the student government.
I am Victoria Lake Upshur.
And I am Brianna Santoro.
And we are members of the Catskill High School student government. We will be passing the microphone to our guest veterans, and we would like each veteran to introduce themselves and state the branch of the armed forces they serve in.
I'm not going to stand up. My name is Richard Schloss. I was in the Air Force during the Korean conflict, and I'm here subliminally to represent my brother who passed away. He was a ranger in the Korean War, and he used to love these get-togethers, if you will. He was a true veteran, and God bless all those families, okay, who was soldiers and servicemen that didn't come back.
Hi, my name is Sarah Lipsky. I served in the United States Navy 2000-2004 as gas turbine systems mechanic.
Frederick A. Van Loan, United States Air Force, 61 to 65, and I was stationed in England for 3 years. It was during Vietnam, though.
I'm Larry Overbaugh. I served in the U.S. Army in Vietnam.
That's it. United States Air Force, 1960 to 65, and as usual, I'm surrounded by the Army.
Sergeant First Class Bill Myers. I was in the Korean War, 2nd Infantry Division.
Salvador Pusater, United States Army, 82nd Airborne, 59 to 61.
Leo Valkenburg, Specialist 4, U.S. Army Medic, 1962 to 65. Gordon Mosier, 1972 to 1992, Air Force retired, security police.
Grant Hack, United States Coast Guard, 1969.
Mike Hendricks, United States Coast Guard, from June 64 to December 68.
John Rusak, United States Army Air Force, World War II, the Philippines and Okinawa, and Catskill High School, 1945. Go Cats.
United States Army Military Police, stationed in Mannheim, Germany, 1966 to 1968.
Nick Cataldo, U.S. Army, served in Vietnam, 1969.
Roger Lane graduated Catskill High School 1966, U.S. Navy 1968 to 1972. Okay, so again, give them another round of applause, please. Next, with the introduction of our guest speaker, we have the Vice President of the National Honor Society, Ms. Rachel Smith.
Hello, my name is Rachel Smith, and I'm Vice President of Catskill High School's National Honor Society. Our guest speaker today is Chief David Darling.
Chief Darling served in the U.S. Army from 1966 to 1969. He is a Vietnam vet. He joined the New York State Police on July 2nd, 1970, and was a trooper until he was promoted to the BCI in 1986. In 1992, he was promoted to senior investigator and served until his retirement in July of 2005. He became the chief of police for the Catskill Police Department in September of 2005. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Chief Darling.
Thank you. Veterans Day has been set aside as a national day of recognition for all veterans that have served in our nation's armed services. We should never forget the sacrifices made by these individuals in order that we live free and maintain the principles and values which our nation was built around. In 1938, Armistice Day was designated by the United States Congress to recognize and honor veterans of all wars. In 1954, Congress enacted a law to change Armistice Day to Veterans Day and to celebrate November 11th as a national holiday. On that day, President Eisenhower issued the following proclamation, and I quote, "I, Dwight D. Eisenhower, President of the United States of America, do hereby call upon all of our citizens to observe November 11th as Veterans Day. And on that day, let us solemnly remember the sacrifices of all those who fought so valiantly on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores. To preserve our heritage of freedom, and let us dedicate ourselves to the task of promoting an enduring peace so that their efforts shall not have been in vain." 40 million men and women have answered the call to duty. More than 1 million sacrificed their lives in the belief that some principles are worth fighting, and yes, even dying to preserve. Each and every man who has served with honor and distinction is a hero. Certainly, there are many whose actions may have merited an award, but for whatever reason, the moment of valor was not recorded. Fewer than 3,500 of these brave soldiers have been awarded the Medal of Honor. Desmond Doss was a recipient of the Medal of Honor during World War II. He served in Guam, Philippines, in the Battle of Okinawa. He was a conscientious objector, but he volunteered as a medical corpsman. During the Battle of Okinawa, he saved 75 men. He was wounded 4 times and was evacuated on May 21st, 1945. Patrick Kessler, also a World War II veteran and a recipient of the Medal of Honor. He single-handedly charged 2 enemy positions, captured 16 enemy soldiers, including 2 snipers. 2 days later, he was killed in action. Robert C. Burke, the youngest Medal of Honor recipient of the Vietnam War. He's a Marine gunner with the 1st Marine Division. He launched a one-man assault against a large enemy force where he was mortally wounded. He was just 18 years old. Dakota Meyer, Medal of Honor recipient, Afghanistan, 2007. He entered an area known to be inhabited by a large number of insurgents to recover the remains of 4 members of his unit, and personally evacuated 12 civilians. We ask ourselves, where did we find these young people? The many outstanding men and women in this country that have stood up and answered the call to duty. It is so important that we acknowledge their service, regardless of the conflict or the assignment. I want to thank you for permitting me to make a few minutes of your time this morning to make these remarks about our veterans. It is a subject that is very important to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Darling. We will now have a video tribute to our veterans.
You packed your bags and shut the door. You crossed the sea to fight a war. You didn't know just what would happen to you. Stepped in the dirt, boots on the ground, and gunfire was the only sound. And to yourself you whispered hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Every day and every night, you walk the walk, you fight the fight. You never saw the end in sight, now did ya? The days are washing a haze of red, the blood, the mud, too many dead. Your weary soul was crying hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Too late to help you hear a shot. You know you're in a deadly spot. You never thought the day would come, now did ya? Your brother falls down to the ground. The enemy is all around, and from your lips you scream a hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Our next song is our annual favorite. It's our tribute to the armed services. So we ask if those veterans, once you hear your branch's theme, please stand and be recognized for your service again.
tomorrow all the things were gone. I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and I can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Now, I would like to introduce Catskill High School Student Government President Kendall Patterson.
Good morning, my name is Kendall Pedersen. I am the Catskill High School Student Government President. In the words of General Douglas MacArthur, soldiers above all others pray for peace, for it is the soldier who must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. On Sunday, November 11th, people throughout the country will gather to remember, to honor, and to pay tribute to those who have served our country. Our school assembly is not a lot, but it's one small way we can honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can live in freedom. It is a way to say that we remember and honor them all. As we move through the rest of our day, please keep in mind all of those who carry those scars and protect our freedom. Thank you to all of our veterans, and thank you for all attending today. Please welcome the Assistant Principal of the Catskill High School, Mr. Bragg.
emotional right now, so bear with me. But I do want to take this moment to thank all of our veterans here today and those that have passed before us. Veteran, as a definition, is a person who served in the military. But to me, veteran is a courageous person who protected our rights and our freedom. A veteran to me is leadership, dedication, strength, and honor. I would like to share with you a true story. My grandpa, who was 94 years old, was a World War II vet. He went through Normandy, lost many comrades, witnessed the concentration camps, was hit with shrapnel, and was also shot. He also saw a lot of perished bodies. He's a Purple Heart and Bronze Star recipient. He would be here today if he didn't start to get sick recently. But this man has taught me how to be a leader, to be dedicated, endure strength, and display honor to my family, the people, and our nation. I'm grateful to have these veterans here today, sharing their stories and dedication and their leadership. These veterans are the reason why we have freedom and the opportunities we have today. I want to thank you for joining us and providing our student body with your knowledge and advice. Your dedication to our nation will never be forgotten, and your leadership and values are noticed. To the students here at Catskill High School, I want us to remember, when we have the ability to vote, eat the foods we enjoy, ride in the cars we do, and have the ability to have good jobs and be able to attend college, it is because of these veterans, and so those that are no longer with us, that we have these opportunities. Again, thank you to our guests for coming today to speak to our students, and thank you for helping our democracy remain strong and our country to be free. God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. Bragg. At this time, we're going to have our representation from the Catskill Police Department and also our New York State Police retire the colors. Thank you. Last but not least, we'd like to give a special thanks to all the veterans who participated in our assembly today. There will be a brief luncheon and reception following today's ceremony in the high school library. Veterans and students who participated in the assembly today are invited to attend. Again, thank you for everyone coming out. Congratulations. Thank you to our veterans for serving our country. And Ms. Beagle, could you come out, please? Give Ms. Beagle a round of applause for helping put today's program together. Thank you to Ms. Dowling, Mr. Stores, for the musical selections of Warwick Band. Thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.